Is atheism the most rational position in the universe?
No! The most rational position in the universe is the one where the genocidal storm god who sniffed burnt heifers and fought fire-breathing dragons had his son whipped, tortured, and killed like a sacrificial animal to make up for all the time you spend on Pornhub, and then sniffed him too, and then had him catapulted into the sky in a manner that's hardly distinguishable from other ancient myths and legends of the time. That is the essence of rationality. That's not even close to stupid.
Or is it possible, despite the fact that an organization claimed the rational moniker for themselves, that atheism is absolutely irrational?
I just told you we submit. We're done. We cannot top your uber plausible worldview with, tribal war gods and fire-breathing dragons. We can't do it. We're done. We're toast. We're tapping out. It's over. You win.
Road Trip to Truth. It is now available. Please consider getting this for your youth group, or frankly, for your not youth group.
Yep. Get them while they're young.
Adults need to see this too, to be equipped to defend their Christian worldview as the only rational worldview.
Is this guy creepy? I can't tell if he's creepy or not. What do you think? How long before Jodie Foster or the girl with the dragon tattoo wind up hunting this motherfucker down with a hot spatula? That's kind of what I want to know here.
This is host John Fabarez.
For all of history, it seems the winner of any intellectual battle is the one that presented the most rational position for their stated view. If there's one group that's cornered the market on the use of the word rational, it's atheists.
How could they? What do they think everything just came from nothing? Where do they get their morals? If we came from monkeys, then why are there still monkeys? Come on, guys, use your head.
Countless websites, YouTube channels, and blogs promoting the tenets of atheism are branded with some form of the word rational.
What YouTube channels?
Vanguards of the new atheism movement, like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, are the quickest to pull out that R word, stating atheism is the most rational view in the world. They claim that based on their ability to interpret reality, atheism makes the most sense.
And we keep telling them Kim Jong Jehovah and the fabulous flying son of man have us beat. We admit it. We're tapping out here. You don't have to rub it in. Jesus. Jesus. Stupid.
Really, is that the case? Is atheism really rational?
We get it. We suck. What more do you want from us? Blood? Good Lord.
Dr. Jason Lisle has a PhD in astrophysics from the University of Colorado.
Oh shit! A PhD in astrophysics. That's intimidating as hell. I haven't been this terrified since that time Ted Cruz grabbed my ass and called me sugar dumplings. Right in front of his mom.
He's written numerous books explaining the rationality of Christianity and the consequences of atheism.
We're all pretty fucked now.
Atheism as an idea or as a philosophy. What is atheism?
Really, atheism is the belief in no God. Atheism, no God. And so it's the position that God doesn't exist. And then there are logical consequences of that. Some people try to say, well, it's not a belief system. It's just, I don't have a belief system.
A lack of a belief system.
Yeah, a lack of a belief system. So if you're going to play that game, then I'm an atheist. I'm just not convinced of atheism, right?
Sure. He's an atheist. Gah! That's funnier than a poopy flavored snow cone. Where does he get this shit?
The fact is both theism, Christian theism, and atheism are both positive belief systems. They both take a position on whether or not God exists, and that has consequences for how the universe would be expected to behave.
2 points for you, AstroTurf. Atheism is the disbelief in a god or gods, the corollary of which is the belief that there are no gods or no God. Fine, atheism has a belief too. We're with you on that. The only question then is whose belief is the most rational? But that's where you are about to kick our ass. After all, you have a PhD and you've written books. You're even sipping Joe in a trendy coffee shop like a normal person. Look at you.
For you personally, what kind of purpose do you have in your life?
That's a hard one.
Wow, they're stumping fresh-faced college students. That's the spirit. Don't go after the professors, ask the greenies. The less experienced and more impressionable, the better.
I don't know to actually say there's a purpose for things. It's kind of difficult.
You know, we're just specks of dust on a speck of dust, amongst other specks of dust.
Purpose. I think our generation seeks purpose and they want to have meaning. Can atheism provide any purpose for a person?
A person can decide irrationally. They can say, well, you know what, my purpose in life, I'm going to make my purpose in life to build the largest ball of peanut butter that has ever been accomplished. And they can just decide that.
That's nothing. My purpose in life is to dip my balls into the largest ball of peanut butter ever built. I find that incredibly meaningful and soothing. Meanwhile, PhD smashing, multiple book writing astrophysicist from heaven appears to have no grasp whatsoever of existentialist philosophy. Or if he does, he's making no effort to showcase that here. Funny that.
But there's no objectivity there, right? It's just something they've arbitrarily picked. By definition, if you're an accident, there's no purpose. That's what it means to be an accident.
Get it? If there's no cosmic metaphysical purpose handed down from God, then there is, ipso facto, no purpose. Maybe as a non-believer, you feel that your purpose is to provide for and care after your loved ones instead of building giant balls of peanut butter. Maybe you have certain dreams and aspirations that will mean something to you in the here and now, even if it's not eternally significant. The fact of the matter is, if it doesn't matter for all cosmic eternity, then it doesn't matter at all. In fact, that should be the name of his next book. If it's not meaningful forever, then it's not meaningful ever. And other non sequiturs.
On the other hand, if we're made in the image of God, then we do have a purpose. And the fact is, because we know in our heart of hearts that God exists, we do have a sense of purpose built into us. Human beings do.
Damn Skippy. I have a sense of purpose because I know in my heart of hearts that Vlad, the son of Man Impaler, who broke the heads of a goddamn sea dragon and fed it to hungry desert nomads, is entirely self-sufficient, but needs my praise and worship. Because reasons.
That comes out even in atheists. I think of Richard Dawkins, who, he's an atheist and he goes around teaching how everybody should be atheists. I think that's irrational. I mean, here's a man who is convinced that it's his purpose in life to convince people that there's no purpose in life, right? I mean, because if he was really an atheist and he thinks everything's just an accident, why would he care? But the fact that he thinks he has a purpose, and he does have a purpose, the reason that he thinks that is because he does know in his heart of hearts the biblical God.
Of course Richard Dawkins knows the biblical God. Their kids were playing and eating bad pizza together at Chuck E. Cheese last Tuesday. They couldn't get him out of the ball pit because some asshole made all the balls out of peanut butter.
My point is, any purpose that you invent for yourself will ultimately be arbitrary and meaningless.
Yep. Caring after loved ones or starting your own photography business is arbitrary and meaningless unless there's a celestial father figure to say, hey, that's meaningful, for all the reasons that they're already meaningful in their own right.
Because there's no objectivity to it. I'm going to wear cheese on my head. That's my purpose in life. Well, you can do that, but it's arbitrary. It's It's meaningless. It doesn't have any objective value.
Is it possible that Astro-Christian McStrawman is purposely choosing arbitrary and ridiculous activities in order to deceptively prop up his point? And that's not even arbitrary. Just ask Packers fans. This guy would get his ass kicked in Wisconsin.
My friends who are atheists, and I'm sure yours too, most of them are materialists. They
Yes.
believe in materialism. How could you explain that?
So materialism is the belief that everything that exists is made of atoms or energy. So everything that exists has a position in space. It's material. And that's a self-refuting position, because anyone who would try to argue for that would have to use laws of logic in order to make the argument.
Okay.
But the problem is laws of logic are not made up of atoms. You can't point your telescope somewhere and see a law of logic, or accidentally stub your toe in a law of logic. They're non-material.
Let me know when this astrophysicist actually gets around to discussing something that's relevant to his degree instead of just warmed over apologetics. But anyway, he's right. It's not like ontology, the branch of philosophy dedicated to existence and being, has different classifications for disparate phenomena. All things exist in precisely the same manner, whether a Volkswagen Jetta or a logical inference. I bought a half-dozen laws of logic on eBay just the other day, but I had to return them as soon as I found out that this guy broke them all with non sequiturs and equivocation fallacies. And I couldn't get my money back because they were all covered in my peanut butter balls and throbbing cheese head.
So the materialist has to use something that cannot exist in his worldview in order to prove his worldview. It's an inherently irrational position. And a lot of atheists haven't thought that through, but it really is a devastating refutation of their position.
I'm fucking devastated, especially after the laws of logic debunked my non-belief in the magic sky wizard who murders children with bears. Please send your condolences and peanut butter to 666 Hellfire Lane, Apartment 1A, Hell, or Cleveland, P.O. Box up your ass.
Unfortunately, not a lot of Christian youth have thought that through, but they will if you present Road Trip to Truth.
Okay, Emperor Palpatine, we'll get right on that.
How old should a kid be to participate in this wonderful 13-lesson study? Junior high. It's not too soon, I promise you. They can get this stuff. They've already been presented with this stuff. They've already felt the shame of not being on the side of rationalism.
I'm on whatever side you're on, creepy used car salesman from an episode of Black Mirror.
Is it any wonder so many kids are hopeless? that they are told there really is no purpose. You can put a ball of cheese on your head and that's your purpose. And you go, well, that's really it. I would be bummed out too.
I would be bummed out if you were my dad. Like, let's be real. I'd rather slam my pecker in a car door than seek out your advice. I don't care how much dickhead cheese I wasted.
Please consider presenting this teaching to your youth. They will participate perhaps like never before, because most likely they have never been presented with the Christian side of what is the most rational worldview.
Most likely their parents already have a restraining order against you. And even people who are rubbing their crystal peanut butter balls and spreading goat's blood on their doorstep to keep you out are looking pretty rational at this point.
Well, thank you, Carol. I can't wait to try some of that low-sodium peppermint lasagna. Sounds delicious. Let's get to the weather.
Low-sodium peppermint lasagna. Fucking seriously.
As you can see, we are going to have a massive warm front moving its way up the eastern seaboard, expecting temperatures upper 90s and low 100s. Unless, of course, you're outside of Christ. Then on Judgment Day, it is going to be hot.
It is going to be not coming because it's a common mythic archetype in antiquity, and Christianity's version has missed the deadline by nearly 2,000 years. But if you're that excited about the prospect of people burning in hell, it's a shame there's not an actual hell for you to burn in, rumpled shitskin.
Not only hot, weeping, gnashing of teeth.
Yeah, too many peanut butter balls in my mouth for my teeth to gnash, but thanks for this wretched endorsement of a religion that's so morally and intellectually bankrupt that not even an astrophysicist could keep it from plummeting into the ground. I found my purpose.